Let's look at jQuery plugins with pens. Again, we use pens as practice before we bring them to our projects and actually apply those concepts. So concept, practice, application. Here we have this concept of modularity that we're going to practice with pens and then begin to apply those concepts inside of our project. So let's start with a simple H1 and we'll call this thing stuff. So our content first, and then presentation next. All the basic stuff here, and then what we want to do is install our base, which is going to be jQuery, and CodePen makes this very easy. We can come right into here and select jQuery, not jQuery UI, jQuery library itself, and that goes first. Another way to do this is to simply just type in jQuery, and that'll bring up the most recent version also. So both methods will work. So right here, indeed, we want to make sure that our library is installed. And then we can hit save and close on that. What we want to do now is make sure that jQuery is installed and running okay. And so we want to bring up debug mode, which will give us the console that we need to see what's happening underneath the hood. So we're going to run console.log. We can do a simple check here of even hi, some strings, and make sure that our console is running, and we see that we have the word hi. And then we can replace hi with jQuery itself, and since jQuery is a big old function, we can just type in jQuery and we activate a function, or right now an action, with a left paren, right paren. Again, early in the quarter we use the word action, later on in the quarter we'll use method and function once we understand what those things are. And we're making an intentional mistake here by typing jQuery with a Q. And then we hit refresh on this and we see that the browser says I don't understand what jQuery is with a lowercase q, because jQuery needs a capital Q. So we're going to replace the lowercase q with a capital Q, and this is our introduction to JavaScript being case sensitive. And refresh this and we don't have any errors, and here we can see everything that is inside of the jQuery object, and we went through some of this in class. So we see that jQuery gets abstracted to a $sign just for convenience, so we can replace all of jQuery capital Q with a $sign, and we should get the exact same result. And we see that there nothing has changed. So jQuery itself is running just fine. So now that we know that this is working, we can comment that out. And now we can add in our plugin, and the plugin we like to experiment with is lettering, and so we can search for that, and here it's quickly added. And the order of execution and the order in which we load things is first the library, and so the library is the foundation, the base, and then on top of that we're going to add in the plugin. So the plugin comes next, and the plugin doesn't work without the library, so we can save that. And let's go ahead and use the plugin now. And how we use the plugin is from the documentation here. And we see here in the documentation it says if you're going to activate the plugin, which we're called lettering, you need a lowercase l. So we're going to disregard the documentation or make mistakes because we're human beings. And so it says we're going to apply this action, this plugin, on our H1. And what action are we going to apply? We're going to apply lettering. And again, we're intentionally making this mistake, and because it's an action, it's going to need left paren, right paren, then a semicolon to end the statement. And then if we refresh this page, we're indeed going to get an error because lettering should be with a lowercase l. And we see here that from the documentation that it is indeed a lowercase l, so now we can replace this with a lowercase l and refresh our console again, and we see that we don't have any errors, and this is what we're looking for. So before we apply the concepts, we need to practice them with pens, make sure that they're working, and then we can go and apply them to our actual projects. So concepts from lecture, practice with pens, applied into projects.